Here now is Lisa Bell and Candace Campos with Florida Foodie.
Hello and welcome back to Florida Foodie. I'm your host, Lisa Bell, along with our producer, Thomas Mates. Today's guest has a very unique business that I think you're going to love, and even a more unusual backstory.
He's been a stand-up comedian, a tour manager for Carrot Top, a real estate agent. He is the current dean of students at St. Cloud High School, and he operates his own gourmet bacon business out of the comedy club that he co-owns. We are so happy to be joined by Eric Godfrey from Bacon King, USA.
Hi.
Hey.
How do you fit so many hats on your head?
I got a big head.
That's not even a comprehensive list. I had to shorten it.
Yeah,
I just wanted to hit the high notes.
I'm like the Fred Gwynn of bacon. Do you even know who Fred Gwynn is, Lisa?
No, sir, I'm sorry.
Thurman Munster from the Munsters.
No.
Big head.
Okay.
But I've heard of Carrot Top.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes.
Well, he's got the big hair.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
Yes. So your focus now is bacon, but you started with Carrot Top. Mm-hmm. How did you start out with Carrot Top?
Yeah, it's a long story, but I'll keep it as short as possible. In college, I did stand-up comedy. I'm lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and so I started stand-up comedy while I was in college and working weekends, all throughout the Southeast. Get back in time for class on Monday. Go to the Bahamas for spring break. Work the comedy club down there. Lots of fun.
Living the dream.
Living the dream, the college student dream, absolutely. And I was just getting ready to graduate, believe it or not. And at the time, Carrot Top had hit the scene, and he did what they call a NACA conference, National Association of Collegiate Activities. He did a NACA conference, and he got 86 schools that wanted him to perform during a one-semester period of time. And so he needed help on the road. And because I just graduated, and I was still like the college age, his management at the time, who I was working for in his comedy club, said, hey, listen, why don't you have Eric go out with you on the road? He can help you drive the truck, a little black Nissan pickup truck that I did not fit in. And you can help you carry the trunks into the venue, help you set them up. You can go up in front of you and do 15, 20 minutes, warm
Were you
up the
two
crowd.
rolling around in this pickup truck together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
What year was this?
91?
91.
Yeah, 91, a little black Nissan pickup truck.
Okay.
And so that's how it all started. And we would hit these colleges, and it was really weird. The way it worked out is that sometimes we do colleges at lunch in their cafeteria. They'd set up a stage right there in their cafeteria while they're sitting there eating their Salisbury steak, and Carrot Top's up there trying to do comedy. And then we'd pack up the show. We'd drive another 2 or 3, 4 hours and get to another college at night and play in their auditorium in front of 2,000 screaming kids, pack it all up and go to the hotel and get a night's rest and do it all over the next day.
Yes. So what actually brought you to Florida, where you actually had some roots, decided to plant some roots?
Carrot Top switched management to a manager who was based out of here in Florida. And matter of fact, I used to be the manager for Gallagher, another prop act that everybody knows about. And so he goes, hey, we're moving everything to Florida. Let's go. So I said, okay, let's go. So packed up the wife, and we were pregnant at the time, and came down here to Florida, started in Kissimmee, and now I'm in St. Cloud. So that's how all that started.
Which is fantastic. And you own some comedy clubs now.
Yeah, myself and my partner Vinny Barber, we own a comedy club called Porky's Comedy Club. It's located inside of a barbecue restaurant called Jimmy Bear's in St. Cloud.
Which your partner also owns. Right?
Which my partner also owns. Yeah.
So,
it's an awesome barbecue restaurant.
I mean, everyone loves bacon.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did you go from just doing comedy with Carrot Top to becoming the Bacon King?
Well, it's self-appointed Bacon King. Nobody ate my bacon and go, you know what, you're the king of bacon. I said, there's my name. No,
I pulled pig out of a stone.
It's all marketing. I built the logo before I made my first slab of bacon.
Have you always loved bacon?
Of course, look at me. Yeah.
He said it.
You all are thinking it, but I said it. Yeah, I'm not afraid.
But this is unique. So you brought some bacon today.
I did bring some bacon, yes.
What sets your bacon apart from what I go to the store and buy?
Well, what you go to the store and buy is mass-produced. It goes through a curing process that can be as short as 30 minutes. If there's a curing process that takes pork belly and changes it into bacon in 30 minutes, there's a lot of chemical involved. A lot of chemical. And that's the stuff that's bad for you. And plus, the bacon that you get at the store, I'd say is maybe 30% water weight. So when you get a pound of bacon, you're only getting about 3/4 of a pound of because it shrinks when you cook it. My bacon is made with fresh ingredients. My bacon does have a little chemical in the cure. It's a pink curing salt. It's a nitrate. But I use very, very little, just enough to cure the bacon. So it becomes a cured meat product where you actually can go a couple days without actually having it refrigerated.
So, do you actually raise these pigs?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No. I get the pork belly from a supplier, and then from that point, it's never frozen. From that point, I create the cure. I use whatever ingredients for the different types of bacon, and the ingredients are endless. I can do whatever I want, and then the cure time takes 10 days.
Okay.
It's a 10-day cure. It's refrigerated. I go and I flip it every day, and then after 10 days, I take it, I let it dry, I smoke it, and I have our bacon.
When did you start doing this?
I came up with the idea, it's really weird, I came up with the idea back in November.
Wow.
Just recently.
Okay.
And it was one of those things that I was just about to fall asleep, and just for some reason, I just sort of started myself up, and I said bacon. I said, but then, I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking. I just said bacon. And the original,
Okay.
now this has gone through a couple renditions. So I found a recipe for bacon, and I made my first batch of bacon, and it turned out great, good enough that I'm like, oh wow! And I gave it up to all the guys at school and everything else. And I'm like, this is really cool. And then I realized, based on the ingredients, there are unlimited kinds of bacon. And that was my first idea for the company, was I was going to make bacon. If you want your bacon, if you love margaritas, it already has salt in the cure. Let's add a little lime juice and a little tequila. Let's make margarita bacon. All right, now that wouldn't be for me. That doesn't mean somebody else likes, or somebody who likes sweet bacon but it got a little bit of a heat to it.
Yes.
We can add some chili powder to some brown sugar, or do whatever. The endless combinations are there, and that's what sort of came up with it. Then I took that idea, and I decided, you know what?
I got to make a note of margarita bacon.
Margarita bacon. I'll make you some margarita bacon. And if you have me back, I can actually show you how to do it right here. This is plenty enough place.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it. But getting to that point is that my wife signed up for one of those paint things where the ladies get together and they drink wine and they paint. And then I'm like, wait a minute. If they can do that, why can't guys get together and drink beer and make bacon? So I have what I call the Bacon King experience, that I have, the experience, it is an experience, that I have there at Jimmy Bear's throughout the weekend on Saturdays sometimes. And guys can come in and we sit down, I go through the whole history of how curing began and everything, and then we give them an actual 4 or 5 pound slab of pork belly, and we do the measurements and create the cure, and then I let them just go and make whatever they want. They have all the ingredients right there. If they want it sweet, they can go to this side and use all those ingredients. If they want it more savory, they can go to this side and use pepper and onion powder and garlic powder and create their own bacon. Then they take it home with them and they finish the cure at home. Then they smoke it. And
what's interesting too is it comes in this big slab, then you leave it up to the consumer to slice it themselves.
Right. Why should I make that decision on how thick or thin that people like their bacon?
How do you slice something like that?
It's if you put it in the refrigerator and you chill it, it's a lot easier to slice. You just get a knife and just slowly watch your fingers, and you can slice it as thick or as thin as you want. It lays pretty flat on the counter. You just put it on a cutting board and have at it.
Can someone order like a bespoke bacon? Like, I want this flavor.
Yeah, how do I get the margarita bacon?
You send me an email.
Okay.
Eric at BaconKingUSA.com. Absolutely. I can do whatever you want. If you have a specific taste in mind, if you are from Louisiana and you want some Cajun spice in there, I can make a cure with Cajun spice and see how it turns. Look, there are no refunds. So if it shows up and you're like, oh, I'm not sure this Cajun thing works, well, you got yourself 5 pounds of Cajun bacon.
Still ahead, a history lesson on America's favorite breakfast food and the story behind how Eric Godfrey found his way onto Florida Foodie. But the thing that really caught my eye at first was, my dream is to, and I'm paraphrasing, my dream is to raise enough money so I can take a picture of myself dressed as the Tiger King, but surrounded by pigs, followed by, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
The Bacon King returns in just a minute. You're back with Florida Foodie and the Bacon King, the former comedian, current high school dean, and pork enthusiast who's sharing his love for bacon with his own unique business. Let's get back with Eric Godfrey.
When I first came up with the idea, Vinny, being the guy that he is, just gave me a whole case of pork belly and goes, have at it. Just go ahead, just experiment. So I probably did.
What a friend.
Yeah.
No, really, he's been a big help. We've known each other for 30 years, and
on the road,
we both did stand-up comedy about the same time, and he's been a big help with
and
my
he just
vision.
knew that you had this passion to kind of create this custom bacon.
Yeah, and I went to him first when I came up with the idea, and I explained everything to him, and there was a long pause, and he goes, "It's either already been done or this is a really good idea." And I did my research and I couldn't find anybody who's done anything like this. So he was very helpful, allowing me to use Jimmy Bear's to use in my commissary on their time. I get to use all of his equipment.
Now, are you cooking bacon while any of this is happening? Because I feel like the aroma in and of itself will just draw people.
Yeah,
right
so when I do farmers markets, I will have some bacon that is sliced. I will have I have a little propane griddle, and I will sit there and I will cook little samples of bacon. And I'd say probably 98% of the people who get a sample will actually end up purchasing some bacon from me right there on the spot.
I want to switch gears real quick because you have another job that we mentioned. You work at St. Cloud High School.
I do. Go Bulldogs.
And so give us a little bit of the history lesson on bacon, why they originally started curing meat.
Okay, all right, real quick. It started about 3000 BC in Mesopotamia. We're
right. You were
Middle
around
East.
then, right?
Of course
Yes,
I was.
yeah.
Of course I was. And of course there was no refrigeration back then. And so big problem with spoilage of foods were going on. And there's different ideas as to how it sort of came about. The one I sort of gravitated to, and I think, in my opinion, is what happened, is that they had fish. And fish came from either freshwater or saltwater. And they realized that the fish that came from saltwater lasted longer than the fish that came from freshwater. And the only difference between the two is the salt. And so they started using salt and sesame seed oil to package the fish, and it lasted longer than just fish that wasn't using those ingredients. And that's sort of how it happened. And over a period of time, well, if it worked for fish, well, will it work for lamb? Will it work for beef? Will it work for whatever other meats or foods out there? And that's how it sort of evolved.
How does running this business help you with your day in, day out job at St. Cloud High School?
It has nothing to do with St. Cloud High School.
I feel like it's a fun outlet, though, for you. When you're dealing with such a different topic.
It is, and what it is, it's actually something that the kids at St. Cloud High School, a lot of them, they follow me on TikTok. All right, because I had the little Bacon King thing, and I do some live. I did some lives where I was actually doing the cure and mixing it all up and everything like that. And it lets the kids see that good old mean Mr. Godfrey is kind of different outside of school. That's my job at St. Cloud High School. But outside of school, I own a comedy club. I make bacon. I do other things, and it just gets to see a different side of me.
Do they know that you're friends with Carrot Top?
They don't have a clue who Carrot Top is. They don't have a clue. I show them, you guys don't know who Carrot Top is. I show them a picture and like, oh.
Do you think that being a comedian helped you with your educational experience and talking to kids? And then likewise, has your educational experience brought that to, when you're teaching people about how to make their own bacon?
Well, sure. When I was in the classroom being a teacher and I taught science. I taught a class called physical science, chemistry, and physics. And having a comedy background and being in front of people, I was very at ease in front of the kids. So that wasn't a problem. And I would do what I could to try to make it as fun as possible for them too. Luckily, knock on wood, I didn't get in too much trouble, by being funny, or trying to be funny. But yeah, and then you take that knowledge of how you can teach to a group of people, and then when I do the Bacon King experience, as a matter of fact, the one I just did the other night, one of my former students was actually there, so he got to, just like old Mr. Godfrey teaching science, I'm actually teaching him how to make bacon.
How fun is that?
Yeah.
To be able to.
Of course, he's 28 now and he's drinking beer, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So we were mentioning earlier, and I don't know if you ever said your favorite bacon flavor.
Oh, definitely the meat candy.
That
Definitely the sweetness in that one. It really is appealing to me, and it. When I give out the samples, and I give samples to both, most of the people gravitate to the meat candy bacon.
So, when a little peek behind the curtain as to how Mr. Godfrey here got booked on Florida Foodie, he sent me an email and just pitching. This is me. This is my business. This is what I do. But the thing that really caught my eye at first was my dream is to, and I'm paraphrasing, my dream is to raise enough money so I can take a picture of myself dressed as the Tiger King, but surrounded by pigs, followed by I'm dumb.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Elaborate.
I mean, why would you want to make money just to do a stupid photo shoot? But that when I came up with the name Tiger King, Bacon King, it immediately took me back to the big pandemic hit Tiger King, and I said, well, if I'm going to do this, let's have fun with it. You know, I'm always about having fun, and so I said, let's make enough money. Let's get a photo shoot. I'll dress as a Tiger King. I'll even get a fake eye piercing. You know, I get the knee brace, the whole 9 yards. But I'll just be surrounded by pigs. I think it'd be funny. You know, some people will look at it. Some people will look at it and you're like, oh, that's great. Some people look like, oh, why are you wasting that money? But that's the fun in it, right? So that's what I've always been that way.
What has the reception been like in the community and from customers? And
everyone who's done the Bacon King experience has absolutely loved it. I get emails and pictures. They send me pictures all the time. They're up on the Facebook page. And
are you always there for that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm the one who actually is showing them how to do it in the whole 9 yards. You know, I would love to get this big enough to where I have comedian friends all over the country, and they always have time when they have weeks off and they're not doing anything. It's like, well, why can't I franchise this out and have a Bacon King experience in California or the Midwest or whatever, and give them all the information and all the product and everything that they need to do their own Bacon King experience, and I can just, you know.
Yeah.
Do it all over the country.
They need to wake up saying bacon, and maybe they'll sign on for that.
Yeah. Probably that's not going to happen. And I have no idea what happened with me, but it's one of those things. I've had a lot of crazy ideas in my life, and I wish I would have done something with them.
Yeah.
But when this one came into my head, it's like, you know what? This is something I probably should at least follow through. And if it falls flat, it falls flat. I've had fun. I've made some bacon. People have enjoyed it, and we move on.
Nothing better than making bacon with some comedy mixed in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what are your plans for the future?
Well, I'd like to see where this goes. I'm actually in talks. I'm going to be making some samples for a very prestigious hotel down in Miami who would like to possibly showcase Bacon King bacon. And we talked about it, and it's one of those things that, you know, you have the regular bacon on whatever they have, but have this as a premium add-on if they want to have the different kinds of bacon, and we can make 2 or 3 different kinds, and it would be specific. The recipe that I would create would be specific for that hotel and for nobody else.
And being in Central Florida as well. I mean, there are so many opportunities.
There are. It's just one of those things. I've never really had, you know, huge goals as to what I want to do. I just want to just do it and just see what happens.
Yeah, I know in our conversations you said that because it's pretty low maintenance insofar as like what you need to put on the experience.
Yes, right.
You had mentioned taking it on the road. What would be the?
I've got it all down to 3 little cases. Everything I need, including all the spices and the salts and the curing salts and everything else. I can literally go. It's almost like a Pampered Chef thing where I can just just call me up. You got 10 people, sign them up, and I can go anywhere in the state of anywhere.
I mean, you mentioned margarita bacon. I have to imagine you have Bloody Mary bacon.
Well, I've not made that yet, but why not? Let's give it a shot.
Okay. Bourbon bacon.
Oh yeah, we can. I've added bourbon. I've added bourbon to some of the cures that I've done. It gives it a unique taste.
Okay.
But that's going to be an acquired taste.
Was there anything that just didn't work?
Yeah. I just tried some ingredients. You know, just trying to throw them together. I tried to come up with a sweet and a savory together, and it just sort of just blended into a bunch of brown. It just didn't turn out well.
What were some of those ingredients?
I had some chipotle.
Okay.
I had some chili powder. I had some brown sugar. I had some white sugar. I had a little bit of honey, things like that, and just kind of just got all mixed up. It was
not good.
No, not good. So I try to keep it as simple as possible, and just take it from there.
Well, where can people find you online?
Well, they can find me online, of course, at our website, baconkingusa.com.
Okay.
You can find us on Facebook, Bacon King USA.
TikTok,
Bacon King USA. That seems to be the running theme, Bacon King USA. Nobody else took that name for some reason, so I'm wondering if I've made a mistake. Now, there is a Bacon King, and that's a hamburger from Burger King, but not Bacon King USA. And,
okay.
I'm hoping for no copyright infringement, but it's a completely different product, so I think we'll be okay.
Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
This has been awesome.
Yes, we can't wait to sample some of this bacon.
Absolutely.
We'll take it home. This is ready to eat. You just got to fry it up.
You just got to fry it up. Absolutely.
Or put it in the oven.
Yeah. 350, and just have at it. And I think you'll enjoy it. Keep an eye on it, especially the meat candy one.
Keep it on low.
Yeah. You just keep an eye on it. That's all.
As always, Eric Godfrey, so much fun.
Thank you.
you. Come back and visit us.
Oh, I would love
Yes.
to. Like I said, I'll come back and I'll actually show you guys how to do this. You don't want to.
Okay.
I have no problem with
Full
that.
bacon king experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you for watching Florida Foodie. You can catch us Wednesdays on News 6 at 5:30 or watch anytime on News 6 Plus. While you're there, check out our other podcasts like Florida's Fourth Estate, Riff on This, and Solutionaries.